Cozy farm games. Are we kind of over them? Some of you may be watching and screaming, yes, I'm done. I have farmed all that there is to farm, Payton. And some of you watching may be like me, where you love a farm sim. You eat it up every time a new one comes out. But maybe you do want to expand your cozy gaming catalog to include some games that, don't have you milk cows and fertilize crops. If either of those sound like you, today's video is perfect because I've compiled a list of not only cozy games that are not farming games, but I'm going to highlight some different categories, some different game genres, and give you examples in case you love cozy games, but you're just sick of the farming sims. Today, I have you covered. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Payton. It is nice to meet you, it is nice to see you, and welcome to the corner. Now, a few months ago, I made a video that showcased cozy games that were not farming simulators. I don't want to say this was like a throwaway video because people definitely asked me for it, but I did not anticipate it to become my most viewed video on this channel. So much so that I ended up making another one, and you guys also showed that one so much love and support, which tells me you may be interested in cozy games that are not farming sims. And in the past two videos, I've just thrown some games at you because frankly, there are a lot of cozy games that have nothing to do with the farming. So today, we're going to go over some of my favorite genres, some of my favorite categories of cozy games, and I'm going to give you an example for each of a cozy game that's out. You could play it right now, as well as an upcoming cozy game to wishlist and get excited about. Before we get into it, please be sure to click the lovely little like button, as well as subscribe for more cozy, chaotic content. And if you want to see me play cozy games live, I live stream right here on YouTube and over on Twitch, Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and we would love to see you at a stream. Okay, I'll shut up. Let's get into the first category. Now, some of these games will definitely overlap in the categories, but I tried my best to categorize them. The first category of cozy games is the one that is most similar to farming sims. So if you look at a farming sim and you're like, yeah, I like some of the things that are in that, but just the actual farming is what you're not into, I would recommend considering simulator games. Now, simulator games can be a lot of different things, but in essence, it is you playing as someone else, living life, usually fulfilling a specific job. One idea for a cozy simulator game that is out now, you can play it right now, is a lovely game that is called Pico. Pico is a cozy, cat-filled tea-making simulator game that's all about taking time for self-care and connecting with what makes you happy. As the newest resident and tea house owner in town, you'll get to learn everything there is to tea. You'll learn new rituals and tea-making styles to make an endless combination of recipes. You'll also get to build relationships with the adorable kitty townsfolk and visit their tea houses to purchase exclusive teaware and ingredients. With over 10 unique characters to get to know, 7 distinct tea houses, and lots of tea combinations to try, Pico is an adorable game perfect if you already love tea or you want to get into it. Also, it's a good one if you enjoy cats. I played Pico last year when it first came out for early access, and I think it is such a sweet idea if you love the sense of working a job in a cozy game. In this one, you're running a tea shop instead of becoming a farmer. You do inherit an old abandoned tea shop, much like you do in farming sims where you inherit an old abandoned farm, but this one is just cats. Cats, tea. You learn different tea recipes, you can decorate your little tea shop. It is very wholesome energy, and it is a stark contrast to the crazy hustle and bustle that you may run into in farming sims. There are lots of simulator games that are either, restaurant management. This one isn't a restaurant, but it is a tea house. This one is definitely a more chill and calming vibe, I find it. I don't find that you feel overwhelmed when you're making the tea. There's not gonna be like a line of customers out the door. You can kind of take your time, learn the different tea rituals, get to know the characters, explore the little town. Overall, it is a very sweet and wholesome time, and a perfect option if you're looking for a simulator game. Now for our upcoming simulator game. I'm gonna be honest, this is one of my most anticipated cozy games of the year because I've never played a game like this, and I think that the concept is really interesting. This game is called Discounty. Discounty is a management sim game where you will run your very own supermarket. In the game, you'll get to organize and restock your shelves, check customers out, make local trade deals, and of course, befriend a quirky cast of characters as you start a brand new life as a local entrepreneur. You'll have to use every tool at your disposal to build up a business empire. But be warned, too much growth might upset your fellow villager friends, so you'll have to decide if you want to go for unlimited profits and success at the others' expenses, or if you can find a way to help everybody. Pretty much, it's up to you to serve customers, design your shop, and make the best supermarket anyone has ever seen. Discounty seems so fun. I feel like a lot of simulator games where you're running like a business empire, they don't always have the most cutesy, cozy aesthetic to me, specifically when I'm looking at like the visual style. But in this one, you take that kind of business empire building kind of thing, but it puts it to an adorable pixel art style. I like that it's not just about running the supermarket, and there is the life sim element of getting to know the different characters. And I think that it's fun that you can make enemies as well. You can kind of decide how you want to play this game, similar to a lot of farming sim games where you have the option, like in Stardew Valley, if you want to support local business or if you want to support the crazy, greedy, cold corporate operation. I like that you kind of get a sense of that in this game without it being the same old thing of farming. This is one that is definitely on my list, and you know I will be covering it whenever it comes out. Now, not that I play favorites, but if I was going to tell you my very favorite type of cozy game, other than farming sims, which, you know, I do like, I would definitely say that narrative games are my favorite type of cozy game. Narrative games can be so many different things, whether it's just a straight up visual novel that you are just clicking and reading through, or it be the kind of games I'm about to show you where it is very much visual novel, but you're interacting with it and you also get to make decisions. One of my favorite narrative games that is already out, you can play it right now. I named this one of my very favorite games of 2023. This game is called The Cosmic Wheel Sisterhood. The Cosmic Wheel Sisterhood is a thought-provoking narrative experience that features a richly diverse cast of characters, tarot-like card creation, divination, and a branching storyline that spans time and space. This narrative adventure will explore themes of identity, community, and personal responsibility in a beautiful, handcrafted universe. In the game, you'll play as Fortuna, a witch living exiled on an asteroid who forms a pact with a forbidden creature in hopes of regaining her freedom. You'll reconnect with your witch friends after a 200-year-long exile. You'll meet new witches and use the cards you created to pierce through their pasts and futures. As you delve into this universe, you'll see yourself immersed in the complex web of interests that surround your coven, leading to a political plot that will define the fate of the Cosmic Witch Society. I cannot say enough good things about Cosmic Wheel Sisterhood. I don't finish games that frequently because I do have a lovely habit of jumping from game to game to game to game, but the Cosmic Wheel Sisterhood is one that I finished to 100% completion, and I feel forever changed from the experience that I had playing this game. Now, mind you, this game is definitely suited for mature audiences, so definitely be sure to read the content warnings about the game, which is available both on Steam or in the Nintendo eShop. It'll say it right at the bottom just for you to kind of, you know, get an idea of what you're dealing with. But what I love so much about this narrative game and why it's one of my favorites is because it gives you so many options. There are so many branches that the story can go based off of what may seem like a throwaway question. These questions can come back to kind of haunt you in the end. And I also really love the interactive element of making the tarot cards because it's really fun, it's creative, and once again, you kind of don't really know how these things that you're creating are going to come back into play, but they do shape so much of the story and where things go. There are so many fun characters. I love the art style of this one. I can't say enough good things about the Cosmic Wheel Sisterhood, so it definitely is one of my favorite games in my very favorite genre. Now, for an upcoming narrative game, this game is also one of my most highly anticipated cozy games because this game is heavily inspired by another one of my favorite visual novel games, which is called Coffee Talk, which I've talked about like a billion times on this channel. This game is definitely inspired by that one, but it takes it into a different kind of fantastical place. This game is called Tavern Talk. Tavern Talk is a cozy visual novel game about running a tavern in a D&D inspired fantasy. In the game, you'll gather rumors, serve magical drinks, and meet adventurers on a life-changing quest. You're the owner of the Wayfarer's Inn, a popular watering hole in the fantasy land of Asteria. But you're not an ordinary barkeep, because the drinks you serve your customers can change their destiny forever, and you can turn rumors you hear into quests for your patrons. You'll get to befriend the colorful cast of adventurers as they brag about their latest triumph or utter failure. And whether it's relaxation or a fresh thrill, you're on hand to give each patron what they need or what you want to give them. When I first saw Tavern Talk, it is clear that it is very similar to Coffee Talk, which again, I love. It's so good. And I love that it is working with this same mechanic, but it's putting its own twist on it. Not only with the D&D style universe, but the different drinks. I love that the characters feel very active here, like they're going out on quests, they're coming back from their quests, they're winning, they're failing. It seems really interesting. The characters themselves look really appealing as well. There is a demo to this game, which I have not tried as of yet, but it is one that because I know as soon as I play the game, I'm gonna want to keep going with the story. So I might just sit on this one until it comes out for its full release, but I think it is a great option to wishlist right now if you're really interested in narrative games, or specifically if you have a thing for a D&D fantastical style world. The next category is a little broad. Honestly, I could split these two kind of words up and give you examples of each, but we're gonna just call this next category the puzzle/strategy games. Sometimes they're a little bit more puzzly, sometimes they're a little bit more strategy, sometimes it's more management. These games fall into that umbrella of all of those things above. The first game is one I've just been covering a lot on the channel because at the time of recording, it's just recently come out, so it's one that's like very with my brain right now. This game is called Minami Lane. Minami Lane is a small, wholesome management game that is set on a Japanese-inspired street. In the game, you'll get to create and manage your very own street, making sure everyone is happy, and watch the villagers just live their lives. The game features about 2 to 4 hours of total playtime, as well as the additional sandbox mode if you want to keep on playing after the main objectives, as well as you'll be able to create and customize your own street by managing shops and adjusting their inventory, recipes, and prices. It's your job to play strategically to complete each level's mission and objectives, as well as you need to keep your streets clean by picking up trash and say hello to lots of tanukis and cats. Minami Lane might be a shorter game, but it is at such an affordable price tag. It's like around $4, and it is so much fun. It does a great job of management and strategy, but gives you that cozy aesthetic, that pleasing vibe, while you're trying to get things right, find out what the villagers want on their street, find out what their favorite ramen recipe is, and fighting to decide, should I add more noodles to this ramen? Should I add more pork? Who knows? Even though you are making decisions and you need to, win the missions, it does just maintain an overall ease and cozy vibe that I really appreciate. I also really like that you can play in a sandbox mode in this one, so if you do breeze through the missions, there is still content to be discovered. And overall, I haven't really seen a game like this. It'd be like When you start playing this game, you're gonna just want to finish it because it really does suck you in, and I do think it is really unique and overall a really fun time. As for the puzzle strategy game that's coming out, this is one that I did play the demo of last year, and it was one that really stayed with me, mainly for its visual style and its ability to innovate a type of puzzle game that frankly I have seen done several times before, but this one stands out to me, and this one's called Bubblegum Galaxy. Bubblegum Galaxy is a cozy narrative building game about rebuilding the galaxy by designing planets. In the game, you'll get to relax as you create colorful planets or spend hours trying to get the most perfect score. Your small but trusty computer will allow you to design planets by placing tiles. To create efficient planets, the software will suggest missions such as connecting similarly colored tiles or a specific number of trees. Each planet has its own quirks and special rules that you'll have to master to do your best work yet. And you'll get to do this while interacting with tons of quirky characters around the office and unfolding hundreds of unique story events. Now, Bubblegum Galaxy is not the first tile placement builder I've played, and you may be familiar with them too if you've played games like Dwarf Romantic or Panorama. Bubblegum Galaxy has that same mechanic of the tile placements. It's a puzzle, you're trying to gain higher scores, but I do think it innovates it in a different way. Not only does it look very visually different from those games, and it takes on a galactic pastel cutesy vibe, but this one also pairs that puzzle mechanic with a little bit of narrative, which when it comes to puzzle games is usually my favorite. I don't always love a puzzle that's just a mindless puzzle. I do love when there is a little bit more depth to it, and this one definitely feels like it has that because you get to interact with the characters in between building the different planets, and the office setting is really adorable. Like I said, I've only played the demo of this one as it is an upcoming game, but it is definitely one I'm really excited to check out, and I'm not that skilled at these tile puzzle games, to be honest, but I'm hoping that I can get better, especially when I play this one. And the final category is one of my favorites as well. I feel like this category is a little bit broad, but I think you'll see how these games kind of go together. The final category I want to mention today is the adventure games. Now, adventure games can take on a whole lot of different forms for sure, but pretty much I see them as you're a character and you have to explore some world to do XYZ task, and also maybe there are some fun side quests along the way. The first game that is already out that you can play right now is called Lil Gator Game. Lil Gator Game is an open world, movement focused adventure game that follows a young gator growing up that likes to play a lot of pretend with their friends. In the game, you'll get to explore a lovingly crafted island full to the brim with areas to discover, friends to make, and of course, a lot of joy to be had. Each area of the island brings unique quests and characters to meet. You'll get to glide through the mountain tops and drops in on the theater troupe kids, as well as you'll get to swing your stick sword through the forest with the prep schoolers, or you could even just find the cool kids down the creek lands. Whoever you decide to hang out with, there are so many areas to explore, and you never know who you'll run into next. I played Little Gator Game last year for the first time, and it was really such a sweet and kind of a surprising experience, because I think when you look at this game, it's obvious, like, okay, it's a cute little game, there's adorable animals, you're a gator, you run around with your friends, it's not that deep, it's not that serious, but it actually is kind of deep, and it is kind of serious, as the story really does follow growing up and playing pretend as a kid. The main gator in the story recounts experiences playing when they were younger with their older sister and kind of how they've grown apart as they've gotten older and trying to kind of rekindle that old childhood imagination, but now at a later time in life. And I just think it's really great. I think the characters are really fun. It's a game that you will smile through, you will laugh through. There are a lot of different side quests to do, and there are a lot of different characters to meet. It's a fun little island to explore, and overall, a really joyful adventure game. And the final game on the list is kind of like cheating, because it is technically out, but it is out in early access, so I'm going to consider it still an upcoming game. This one is an adventure game, but it also is adventure with some puzzles. I think it is more adventure than it is puzzles, but you can be the judge for me. This game is called Ogu and the Secret Forest. Ogu and the Secret Forest is an adorable 2D adventure game with hand-drawn characters and various types of puzzles and places to explore. In the game, you'll get to befriend bouncy characters and defeat strange creatures to unravel the mystery of the charming world. As Baby Ogu, you'll get to explore various types of areas, each one with its own unique atmosphere and storyline. And you'll need to solve puzzles along the way to reveal secrets and mysteries that have been undiscovered for a very long time. From recognizable classic puzzles to unique ones, there are tons of different puzzles waiting for you to visit. And don't worry, there are some hints if you get a little bit stuck, as well as there are plenty opportunities to just sit back, relax, and enjoy the beautiful world of the Secret Forest. I first played Ogu in the Secret Forest all the way back so long ago. I played the demo of it, and then I did play the game in early access when it came out last year, and I do just think it is such a sweet premise. You are this little baby Ogu dude, and you are setting out into the world on your own for the first time. You're leaving home, and you have to uncover all of these mysteries in the world that's around you. It is very puzzly, but there are lots of places to explore, and each area of the map has its own unique atmosphere, its own set of characters. While it is puzzly, there are opportunities to kind of just sit back and be cozy and chill. Specifically, I really like that Baby Ogu can stop and like take photos of landmarks he sees as he goes on his journey. It is a really sweet experience and definitely one I recommend checking out, either now in early access or if you want to wait for the game's full release, which is coming at some point. And there you guys have it. Those were some cozy games and some cozy game genres and categories you may want to check out if you are over the farming sim games. I want to hear your thoughts down below. What are some of your favorite cozy game genres, as well as some cozy games that have nothing to do with farming? And also let me know if you even like farming games in the first place, or if you're like me and you do like them, but like, you need a break, let me know. Please be sure to click the lovely little like button on your way out, as well as subscribe for more cozy, chaotic content. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye!